ALPHARIUS here to paint ALPHARIUS for the Alpha Legion. This was one of the easiest and most satisfying paint jobs that I have done yet. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Step 1, we're going to use Ironbreaker. We're going to paint the entire bottle in a bright silver. Brighter the silver, the more metallic it's going to be. And remember, this is the part we're supposed to trust the process. Next, we're going to use Abaddon black, and we're going to paint the tassels, the loincloth, the gun, and the power axe with it. Here is a helpful hint. Have you ever had your bottles and it's kind of open right here and it's almost like you can't shut it down all the way? Well, usually it's because there's like dried up paint either on the bottom or kind of just on the top above that little lip. It's important not to have too much paint going on. I recommend just keep putting on thinner layers of paint until you get the coat that you want. Now we're going to use Contrast Talassar blue. This was the most satisfying part to paint this mini. We're going to paint all over, and it's really important not to touch it. So kind of be a little bit selective. And if you make mistakes, it's okay because I'll show you how to fix those. Now, if you made mistakes like me, we're going to go back with Ironbreaker and we're going to fix all the little mistakes that we made. Also, if you just kept putting that coat of contrast blue over your mini and it's just a darker color than you want it to be, just go back with Ironbreaker, paint it over, and then just put the contrast over that and it'll look good. Now, we're going to use Agrax Earthshade on everything but the blue parts. And to do this, we're going to use a slightly smaller brush, and you're just going to kind of pinpoint it in those areas. Now we're going to use Eshin gray or darker gray, and we're going to do highlights on the loincloth and the tassels. Now we're going to use Dawnstone for the brightest of highlights on the loincloth and tassel. I focused on the little bottom areas of the loincloth and just slightly down the middle on the tassels. Now, if you got carried away with your highlights, go use some Nolan oil to kind of just wash those colors down. Now, using the Dawnstone gray, use the end of your brush and you're just going to kind of dry brush it on the gun and kind of focus more towards the edges and maybe even like little scratches around. Now it's time to paint the Volkite Energy Gun. First, we're going to use Trollslayer orange and we're going to paint the coils of the gun, all of that little inner area, and the whole of the gun. Now we're going to use some white paint. We're going to use the end of our brush and we're going to make all of the coils white. Now we're going to use Contrast Imperial Fist and we're going to paint over all of the coils and the whole of the gun. Now, if you want to put some color around the coils on the gun, I recommend using the Trollslayer orange, water it down just a little bit, and just slightly put it around the coils and around the gun. Now we're going to mix Contrast Imperial Fist with some white paint. And we're going to put that over the coils and where the coils meet at the end, that little line. We're also going to paint that little line right here. That's going to give it a nice glow look. If you use too much, you can go back, water down some black paint, and go over it. And this is kind of give it like this overheated, kind of a burnt look. We are going to use Typhus Corrosion to give that model a Grimdark look without ever washing the model. We're going to focus on the recesses of the model, between joints, behind the knee, and this is going to give it a really nice Grimdark look. If you want to add some streaks, I recommend just using your finger and sliding it down. That's going to give a nice gradual look, or you can just use your paintbrush. Now, if you want even more highlights and battle damage, we're gonna use Ironbreaker. And we're gonna put that on the very tip of the scales. And just little bits in the armor, like little dots or little scratches. What are you still doing here? If you want more miniature tutorials, click this. If you want to watch some gaming content, check out @NukaKitten Gaming.